Kalimera, Kalispera, Kalinichta, no matter where in this wild and bloody hell wacky world, wonderful, whatever the intro to this show is, let's just talk, shall we? Holy mackerel, holy heart failure, Batman, holy, holy, there is a Jesus.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Well, well, well. Well, 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 squaddies. At ease, at ease. Who had that on their bingo card? Not me, that's for sure. I mean, did I feel good about the game this morning? I did. I felt confident. I felt excited. I didn't want fear to take over and dampen, my spirits in terms of looking forward to the game, because I'm not going to be honest, I've had a rough last few days. So I was thinking, you know what else could go wrong? I mean, I've already had water leaks and delivered washer and dryers that were busted and didn't work, and a whole bunch of other things. When one thing happens, it's followed by, dos, tres, adios, tres, de repente, ocho, deca. And the list just keeps on going. And so, this was, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know where to begin. So I'm going to begin at the beginning. I'm sweating like swine. I literally am out of breath. I need oxygen. So let's get going. Let's say hello first to everyone in live chat. Our friend Georgie George in Australia is dropping his coffee. I woke up. Actually, I scared the bejesus out of Vinny and Vespa, who were happily chewing on their chew. And when the first Declan Rice free kick went in, it was loud. Then when the second one went in, which nobody was expecting, I may have scared them, right? So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to have a couple of people join us outside the stadium. So as soon as they arrive, if they're still, alive and have oxygen and they're breathing, I'll bring them into the studio. Remember to hit the like button, as our Chief Like Officer Tammy says. Andy says, oh, hell yeah, evening, everyone. I mean, seriously, a spicy ricey. I like that from Saeed. Ian, where's these free kicks been all season? Not only all season, but I don't know. The last free kick we scored, I believe, was last October. This is the first time in Declan's career he scored direct from a free kick. That's an unbelievable stat. And he scored 2 against Real Madrid. This is unreal. Let's see. Apparently, I rejected my own comment, letting you guys know I went to get oxygen and I would be right back. That's amazing. Well, that wasn't bad, was it? It wasn't. 3 goals and a clean sheet. This is unbelievable. No one else but Rice to take free kicks. Marina, can't believe what I've just seen. I mean, my WhatsApp groups and my messages have been popping off like absolute crazy. It's been insane. I literally just pulled the show together. I'm not sure if I have all the pictures I wanted to share with you. Let's see. Dale says Rice Merino. And by the way, we're going to get to him as well. It is certainly happy days. It's unbelievable. It is without doubt. Let's just try and quantify this. To think it could have been 4 or 5. Those 2 crosses from Saka, no one on the end of them. Yeah, it could have been 4 or 5. We absolutely destroyed them. But for, I think, a 20-minute period in the first half, we started off really well. Let me just get some more of your comments up. Harvey, I told you all predicted. Does anyone remember Harvey predicting? Does anyone have a screenshot of Harvey predicting that this would happen? That would be great. Soph, who knew? I'm telling you, the urban ghost says I'm in heaven. It matches your screen name. Good to see you too, Ian. It feels good to be doing the show today. And I mean, credit where credit's due. Not quite sure what planet I'm on at the moment, says Kevin. Ayushman says, wow, his mind is blown. Hertzy, I mean, seriously, unbelievable, right? Where are the haters going to be tonight? Whereas everyone, I could feel the media and the pundits and the headlights waiting to be written to absolutely get their dartboards sharpened, their darts sharpened for the dartboard. A 180 on the Arsenal bullseyeing in. Oh, we've changed the narrative tonight. And you know what? The narrative needed to be changed tonight. Arsenal needed this moment. Mikel Arteta needed a seminal moment as manager. You know, there've been a couple. You've got the Bournemouth moment with the late Reece Nelson goal. You've got the Nketiah moment against Manchester United 3-2. You've got the 5-1 moment with Manchester City this season. But on the world's biggest stage, against the best team, against the best manager, against the best current player in the world, Arsenal needed to do something. Mikel Arteta needed to show and prove and shut up all of the haters, okay, and say to everybody, I'm here, I can manage against someone like Ancelotti, I can outthink him, I can outwit him, and I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like giving him all the credit, but we've heard on this show many, many, many times, it's the players, Soph, it's the players. And I tell you, every single one of those players tonight deserves credit. And it was, without doubt, other than 2006, and we've been saying on the show, right, Channel 2006, Graham Hunter told all of you guys that there was a way to beat Real Madrid and that we shouldn't fear Real Madrid. And here we are, 3 goals up. But in true Greek fashion, I'm going to go to church. I'm going to like all that sense, you know, the priest does all that stuff, because 3-0, we've seen this show before. I'm just saying, we've seen this show before. Let me get a few more of your comments, and I'm going to bring my first guest into the studio, who isn't at the stadium, but who I was, you know, chit-chatting. MLS has manifested. We're going to talk about him. He is saucy, as my guy James says. James, how saucy was that for you?
Oh, that was you know, finally at the weekend we had Senor Neville say it as it is, in that this has been dire this season. And you can count on one hand the amount of games that I've enjoyed watching as an Arsenal fan. But that tonight, even the biggest of the haters, and you know, around the world, even our own fans were hate watching. Even our own fans will hate watching. How can you hate that tonight? How? That we've needed something like this for a very, very long time. Mm-hmm. You know what? When Real Madrid come to town, what it's only happened 3 times. They've never scored against us in the Champions League, Sophie. Real Madrid. I mean, Arsenal are sat there singing "Are You Tottenham" in disguise to Carlo Ancelotti's Real Madrid, the holders of the Champions League.
That was amazing. I had so many different thumbnail changes, because I was originally, when I was going to do Monday Madness yesterday and preview the game, I was talking about the 2006 and channeling, you know, Kivior and Merino to channel, not in the same positions, of course, for Merino, but to channel Senderos and Flamini, and then to just have a Thierry Henry out there who can bang in a goal. And then, you know, without Gabriel to give Saliba, you know, that support. So I want to start from the very top, and keep your comments coming in. If you want to pop into the studio and have your say, just pop in, and I'll send you a link, kids, if you want to. If you're brave enough to pop in and have your say on the show tonight, let's do it. It's a good night. We don't get these often. We haven't had these often this season. And it really was unreal. Tony couldn't believe what was happening, because I cheered like once, and I said to her, you got to come and see this free kick from Declan Rice. And then she didn't move. She stayed and watched the rest of the game with me. And she was like, what is happening? I go, I don't know, actually. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to see. I'm going to say what is happening to Arsenal right now. There was no answer on Google either. So here we are. James, the first half, I thought we started really well. I thought we started strong. And then there was a dip where Real Madrid came into the game, 20, 25 minutes, that middle moment of the first half. And then in the latter part, I thought, again, we kind of came on top. There are a few different moments. In the first half, there was a scary moment where Saka had a terrible back pass, took him a while to kind of get into the game, understandable considering he's been out injured. There was a moment where Kivior missed kind of a ball kind of landing to him, let it bounce and, got himself into a bit of a pickle. And then you had the Kivior back pass. Both of those players, after that early hiccup, I thought were brilliant. And you know what? We criticize so loudly we're going to save the best till last. But before we get to that, I just want to say the amount of pressure that Kivior must have been feeling coming into this match to be the man alongside Saliba, to take over from the gladiator of all gladiators this season. He had a man of the match performance at the weekend.
So, Sophie, him and Saliba as a partnership, 12 games together, no losses.
Honestly,
that
is pressure.
And to be fair as well, it's pressure on Saliba because you've seen this season, Gabriel is the one that naturally led that whole, not just Saliba, but that whole back four. Well, that's basically tonight gone, do you know what? You've got to do that job. So can you, as much as there's pressure on Kivior as well, that's a big, can you lead this back four, William? And he's gone, yeah, there you go. Yes, I can. And just to add as well, Miles Lewis-Skelly and Timber, Sophie, they're the best we've had since Cole and Lauren. They're just met. I mean, he's 18 years old. He's a man. He's not a kid. It's disrespectful to call him a kid. He's a man. He's a man. It's unbelievable. I'm like, they don't muck around. They're just proper fullbacks, proper players, know the occasion, know what we need to do. And they yes, on transition, they are absolutely rapid. I saw that in clips that I watched from Valencia at the weekend, even though they lost that game as well. I was like, bloody hell, they're quick. When they want to get it up there and move, they're quick. And I'm like, that's going to be tricky. Nah, handled it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Why are you panicking, James? Why are you panicking? And and like you said about Saka, the minute he got past Alaba the first time, and he was like, I've got your. He went, I know what I need to do now. He's like, I've got you, and he didn't stop. He did not stop for the rest of the game.
He was. It's really is Hagrid an Arsenal fan?
I'll take that. I got called Jeff Bridges in one of my other group chats.
Oh, wow.
Earlier.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice. Yeah. Jeff Bridges. I like that. Let's go to Will. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Oh, my word. Declan Rice. Absolutely everyone played their hearts out. They made me proud to support this club tonight. Kivior had a bloody good game as well for the stick he gets. Yes, let our praise be as loud as our criticism. Kevin, good day, folks. What a game this win is for Super Kev. Locked in from Antigua. You show off all the way from Antigua. Hope you're having a lovely day out there. Big Gabby was at the game. Of course he was. Where else was he going to be? Kivior, pat on the back on that kid. Maxine says, I need to get up early, but I'm buzzing, can't sleep. What a match. MLS. Tammy, Chief Like Officer, credit to Kivior, where it's Drew too. Harvey even giving Kivior his flowers. Let's go to a few more comments here. AJ says, I'm pretty sure I experienced an outer body experience when Rice scored the second free kick. I think we all did. Demsek, those 2 goals from Rice just paid the 100 million for his transfer fee. K Marlon, the team needed that win. That gives them a massive lift. They made the team of superstars look like a Sunday league team, spanked them. Ian, crediting Merino. We're going to get to him as well. Chitana says, we've got to keep that mentality. Yes, I agree. Absolutely. That mentality, because let me tell you, there's nothing worse than a wounded Real Madrid. We've seen it before. Merino ran 12 kilometers in that match, more than any other player. He put in a heroic effort. And Declan Rice will take the headlines. Saka won one of those free kicks. He was absolutely superb when he got stuck into the game. Miles Lewis-Skelly. Mikel Merino, another player that deserves his flowers. That's why I had him on my thumbnail originally. He's scored in every other game he's played. Hannah says that was freaking amazing. Opposing fans, Dord says, opposing fans laughed at the mere mention of Arsenal even getting a draw. How I love the football gods. And Matthew, who is our GIF designer, gave you the Vinny GIF. So glad, and the Vespa one. So glad for Kivior. I really had no hope for him. Brilliant comments. Keep them coming in, squaddies. James, we get to the middle of the match. Things got a little bit testy. Odegaard, I felt, was trying to try too hard, wasn't releasing the ball quick enough. We went from speed to slow. Real Madrid had a couple of really good looks. David Raya makes a save. But let's be honest. I mean, Courtois arguably could easily have been the man of the match too, if there is such a thing to be man of the match on a losing team. He made some stupendous saves, especially in the second half. But talk to me a little bit about the second half, how it ended. You've got Saka with the 2 crosses. We were messaging each other, and I was a little bit afraid that we'd let our chances pass us by.
Yeah, you get like that, don't you? The cynicism starts to slowly seep in. But it was like I said to you, I've never seen him that, visceral. I was going to use a different word, but I'll save it for your show. He looked really angry at the others. Like I've seen him get mad at, maybe fouls not going his way and what have you. But yeah, he was fuming that none of them were reading that cross. He was absolutely livid with them. And then obviously we come out for that second half, and just unbelievable. One of the best 45 minutes that I've seen this club play in years, in absolute years. And if there was ever a game to do it in, it's this one, isn't it?
Yeah.
And like you said, you're mentioning Moreno there. At the end of the first half, I'm speaking to Dad on the phone. I'm saying to him, he just keeps chucking himself on the floor, Dad. I'm like, he's meant to be the guy up there, he's doing my head in. And then in the second half, he smashes in a goal like that. And I'm just like, okay. And that's 10 in 6 up front for him? If we said in January we're going to sign somebody that's going to score 10 in 6 up front, we'd have been all over that. We'd have been like, who is he? Because it's a bit like the purple patch that Havertz had per se after Christmas and that last year. It's not the main option, but it's happening at the moment and it's working. So yeah, why change it? I mean, at the weekend, he's probably going to swap Trossard back up there and rest a few of them, and rightfully so. Timber, Rice, and Saka all come off tonight. Don't play them at the weekend.
Yeah. Did this Demsek brings up a good point. Did it surprise you how passive they were?
Yeah. I'll tell you what as well. I obviously La Liga in this country is behind a paywall in England now. And I don't subscribe. I subscribe to nearly everything else. I'm not subscribing to La Liga on top. But I've always said to you, for my sins, I like a bit of ESPN FC. And friend of the show, and then my personal favourite Burley, always go on about Bellingham and how petulant he is. But I've never seen it for myself. Watching him tonight, I'm like, you are a baby, mate. You are such a baby. I mean, Miles was laughing at him at times. I'm like, wow. I'm like, how easily does he get wound up, Bellingham? For someone that's so talented, he and half get rattled easy, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Really, really gets rattled. I'm like, blimey. And I'm like, we're not even doing anything really to rattle. I'm like, you're just fuming at how this game's going. But yeah, he really is a petulant player, Bellingham.
I love it. Is this quote the truth from? We're going to get to him in a little bit. Well, James, I mean, seriously, I'm all over the place. I really don't know, because I think everyone was absolutely stupendous. But of course, and I didn't load the pictures because I was too excited. But I think you guys have the image permanently ingrained in your brain of Declan Rice taking the first free kick. Now, I'm not going to say, he pulled a Roberto Carlos, but that ball was how many inches away from the left goal post if you're the goalkeeper looking out? That ball curled. It was unbelievable. I didn't even know Declan Rice had that type of... I got to admit, I did not have that on my bingo card. And my goodness, what a moment to get the goal, sensational. Let's just couple these together. And then literally, how many minutes after? I mean, my phone just blew up. The second one was unbelievable. The height of the second one and where he put it, like Courtois had literally no chance. The curl of the first one, I think, deceived Courtois because he's like, there's no way that's coming at me. World class. Now, let's take Declan Rice for a second. I had something on a previous show, and I'd like to put it up because where is he? This midfield today, right? Everyone was talking about the Real Madrid midfield, James. And of course, that midfield is sensational, just brilliant, you know, especially in Champions League. This midfield today, now, I don't think Odegaard actually had a great game. I think he grew into the second half a little better. His passing was a little better. His movement caused problems because he was opening up spaces for other players. I thought that's where Odegaard created some of, his positiveness towards the game. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice were unbelievable today. They were unreal. And the way Thomas Partey was progressing the ball, this is what we kind of miss in games. And this is what we miss in games where when you're not playing against Real Madrid really did play in a low block, James. Maybe that's not a la Newcastle, but they certainly came to, do what they do best, and that's to kill a team on the break. Declan Rice scoring those free kicks, that's a world, to do it on this stage and to do it against Real Madrid, James. Today, I know he won the European Conference with West Ham. A lot of people think that doesn't count. He had a seminal world-class double moment today. Declan Rice put his stamp on, I am one of the best midfielders in the world. Go.
Yeah, for me, Sophie, the second goal, after he's had the celebration with everyone that's all around him, he does the classic with the hands, and I'm like, that's what we all did. That's what we all did at home. The first thing I did when I saw the second one go in was go, effing hell. That's what I did. It's the first thing I did. And I'm like, he gets it. I'm like, he gets it. And it's spot on. It's spot on. I mean, again, the debate, like you said, is going to be what one was better. Obviously, there's part of the second where I think Courtois' positioning, per se, does give Rice a bit more to hit. But it's still, it's mental. It's absolutely mental. And I've said for weeks, let him please take these free kicks. Because Odegaard hasn't scored once since Burnley, which was when we had the last yellow and blue kit, which was 2020, 2019 maybe, when he scored that. I'm like, get Odegaard off these free kicks because they just hit the first person in the wall. It's just a waste of time. I'm like, this guy, we've seen his corners all season. He's nearly scored directly from corners. So I'm like, please put him on the free kicks. And then, you've seen it tonight. Just unreal. Yeah. I mean, there was a game a few years ago, weren't it? The one that saved Unai Emery's job at the time when Pepe scored those two free kicks. And both of them were crazy. Both of them were, but these are just even better than that. I mean, yeah. And like we said earlier, this is why you pay. This is why you paid the money that you've paid. He's openly admitted, and we've seen it as well. The start of this season, he looked well off the boil. Well, since Christmas and New Year, he's turned a new leaf. He that game against Man United, he made that block, didn't he, right at the end? That saved us getting beaten there and kept us having a point.
Yeah.
I mean, he's adding more goals. The header in the PSV home game. I mean, the goal against Man United as well. He's doing defensive work, running, pressing work, and scoring goals. And that's, there's this massive debate about is he a 6 or is he an 8? I've always said, if we stick with it, he can be one of the best 8s, not just in our league, but in the world. Mm-hmm. And he's shown it tonight. He's shown it tonight. Unbelievable performance.
The other thing too with Declan Rice is it's so weird. Like with new signings, sometimes it's, you know, they feel like, it feels like he's come from the Hayland Academy. That's how much he fits. Like I've almost forgotten that he played for West Ham. He fits into Arsenal culturally, you know, as a leader, the way he plays, his character. Like when you see him off the pitch, just something about Declan Rice that just he woos you. He woos you with the way he plays. He woos you with his aura, and he's wooed Arsenal fans, I think, and made himself feel like he's always just been an Arsenal player. And tonight, he just had one of those moments. You know, I think he's had a lot of moments, and we've embraced him and we love him. It took like David Raya a little bit longer. He had his moment in the penalty shootout last season, right? In the Champions League. That was a seminal moment for David Raya, and everyone fell in love with him that night. Jurriën Timber, he could go down as one of the best signings Arsenal have ever made. That play is ridiculous. And Declan Rice, for all of the criticism that he gets tonight, he dotted the I and he crossed the T. And that partnership, you know, Thomas Partey, I know that you and the squaddies have gone at it.
I literally was just about to say, do you know what? I still wouldn't renew him, but tonight, my word, he was brilliant tonight. He was brilliant.
He bossed. Evening, Demian, by the way. Good to see you. By the way, Demian comes into the chat and he goes, what time's the game tonight? Classic. Brilliant stuff. Yeah, he was, that's probably one of, for me, Partey's best ever performances in an Arsenal shirt.
Yeah.
And when you're playing that midfield, James, and, you know, because Real Madrid, they have this, people think they know what they're going to get with Real Madrid, but it's almost like, to me, sometimes I see them as an antagonist and a protagonist, because I think when you win so much, you kind of become the enemy, and there's always a new hero trying to break you down. It's really weird with them because you always want to watch great teams, you know, in big moments. But it felt, as big a club as Arsenal are in this competition and in Europe, it truly felt like David versus Goliath for me tonight. We've got no pedigree in Europe. We do not have and have not achieved what Manchester United and Liverpool have, you know, even Chelsea. This is the baton everyone batters us over the head with. And it's not done yet. And I wish it was old school knockout style. But, you know, Real Madrid and that midfield, they're like the conductors, right, of an orchestra. And they're also like, any time in a game, it's like Jaws, right? Where you're swimming and you're really super happy, and then all of a sudden there's a tug or you feel something, and Jaws is like smelling blood and sees the prey, and you can hear the music like in the back of your head. Dun, 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 dun. That's Real Madrid's midfield in a match.
I love hearing the dog's feet there as you were doing the job. I'm like, I could hear the dogs worrying.
I scared them again. And I felt like in the middle of that first half, I was like, oh, here comes Jaws. Dun, 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 dun. And it felt like it was building. But the way that Thomas Partey was passing the ball, James, quick progression, Declan Rice, the strength, the tenacity, the positioning, the technicality, like it was almost like that their best performance ever together. Go on, I'll stop talking about Jaws and protagonists and antagonists.
No, you're spot on, Sophie. I mean,
hold on.
Oh,
I'm gonna go. Sophie,
Albert.
Imran, come say hello. I've got Imran with me.
Hello everyone, hi.
Just bumped into him.
Hi guys, how you doing?
Sorry to cut you off, James.
I'm saying it right now. I think that's the biggest result in the Emirates era. Massive result, massive result. I'm off to Madrid next week. First 20 minutes are going to be crucial, but I'm just going to suck this in tonight. Live it, love it, enjoy it, soak it all in. I wish you all the squaddies all the very best. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you, Imran. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
We got Albert here with us outside the Emirates. JT TV, Albert JT TV, my brother from another podcast mother. What's going
Come on! Yes! Sophie, let me tell you something. There's not many times as a football fan in your life, or in terms of Arsenal fans, where there's certain games you remember in your lifetime that you either was glad you was there or you're glad you witnessed it to see it. Tonight was a seminal moment. Absolutely seminal moment. From all the build up towards the game, Real Madrid, the rival fans chomping at the bit where they're watching along. Arsenal going to get whooped, they're going to get caned. They can shove it tonight. Tonight was exceptional. It's about, listen, we've been on podcasts, Jimmy Changa, us Sophie, not Highbury Squad, other channels, and we've moaned and complained about Arsenal, rightly so, because we want the best for the football club, but our performances in the Champions League have been the better performances this season. And tonight, we're not playing against a scratch team, by the way. They have Kylian Mbappe up front. They have Rodrigo. They have Jude Bellingham. They have Rudiger, the experienced centre-half. They've got Valverde. I was a bit concerned in the first 20 minutes. I thought we started really, really well. I thought it was really positive. They're a world-class side. They're 15 times winners. Of course they're going to come in the game. Of course they're going to have possession of the ball. Of course they're going to be dangerous. One of the things for me, you guys might agree or disagree with squaddies in the chat. Mbappe, he can play on the shoulder. He can go up against the centre-halves. But he kept finding that pocket of space, and we was not rectifying that in the first half. And it was causing us problems. Ray done the save in the first half, but the second half, absolutely unbelievable. Declan Rice, let me say something about him quickly, because we'll probably talk about other players as well. I've always loved Declan Rice as a player before we signed him. I always said to people, and I've always said this, his performance for England and the Qatar World Cup in that quarterfinal against France was elite level. He had a seminal moment tonight. That was different class. His break-up play, the free kick goals. Are you joking me? I thought the first one was unbelievable. Squaddies, let me tell you something. That second one, David Beckham probably stood up watching that and applauded for about 10 minutes. It was insane. Absolutely insane. My head's all over the place. I'm just waffling, but it's just one of those.
Listen, I've been everywhere. Like, yeah.
So, Sophie, I come out the stadium and I'm looking at fans, and obviously we're happy we've gone and beat one of the best club football teams in world football in history. And some of the Arsenal fans walking around stunned. No one saw this coming. I don't care what any Arsenal fan tells me of any age generation. They never saw this coming tonight. But you know what? Football is a funny old game, a famous footballer once said. And it's a proud night tonight, Sophie. In isolation, this game, we've given ourselves more than a foothold to go to the Bernabeu next week and get this job done. What a proud moment. Historical night for Arsenal tonight. Absolutely.
Well said, Albert. Well said. I wanted to ask you a little bit too. The atmosphere at the Emirates this season has been a little tepid, and especially in the Premier League, where things haven't gone so well. You rightly say that our best football's been played in the Champions League. We've been so consistent in the Champions League and really haven't put a foot wrong since the Inter Milan result. And, you know, these are the kings of Europe. The atmosphere tonight seemed consistent. It seemed loud. And the other thing, too, is it didn't seem like anyone was ready to leave at the final whistle. Give us a taste of that a little bit.
Sophie, it tasted sweet, like digestive biscuits, rich tea, hobnobs. It was amazing. I knew the atmosphere would be amazing, but I think once you actually get here and the build up before the game, you know what? I'll be honest with you. For the first time in a long time, probably about a couple of hours before the game, I really, really felt it. I felt like a manager I felt like a manager in the stands. Honestly, it was it just scrutinising the game, but the atmosphere was unreal. I don't know how it looked from the television point of view, but it's a proud moment to be here for a game of that magnitude. We talk about the history of 06 and, you know, guys to the Bernabeu and the performance at Highbury, but this absolutely matches it tonight. But the atmosphere tonight was absolutely insane. And even big up to the Real Madrid fans, they were amazing as well. But goals change matches, and I'll tell you, when that first goal went in, the place was absolutely rocking. And absolutely amazing, Sophie. But I thought the atmosphere would be. If you can't, let me tell you something. As an Arsenal fan, whether you're at the game tonight or not, if you cannot get up for a first leg quarterfinal in the Champions League against Real Madrid, don't watch any more sport in the rest of your life. You have to be up for that. Honestly, it was unbelievable, Sophie. Absolutely unbelievable.
James, do you have a question for your pal, Big Al?
Love you, James.
Hey, nah, I'm just, there's not many people in the world that I'm happy got to witness that live other than you, my friend. So I'm glad you were there.
Yeah, I'm
love
happy.
it.
We all know what's happened. So, over the last few years with everything.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you were there in person, my friend.
No, I appreciate it. And you know what it is? Sorry. You know what it is? We talk about these players and we scrutinize them, and we knew they had to turn up tonight. And they absolutely did that and more, and twice on Sunday. Big up Mikel Arteta. Big up the players. Thomas Partey, there was a couple of moments in the first half. Second half, he was absolutely phenomenal.
He was imperious.
You've already heard me talk about Declan Rice, but these kind of games are made for Thomas Partey. Big up Bukayo Saka. Hardly played any football, but you put him in for games like this because he stretches defensive. He gets you those key moments. 15 goal contributions in 15 Champions League games. And people want to tell me about, there's a question mark about this guy being world class. Are you having a flipping laugh?
Yeah.
He delivers at the highest level. And also, a big
he's
shout
never
out
done
to,
it in the Champions League, Albert. Until
Henry Winter put out this tweet during the game. Jude Bellingham and Saka shining in this match. Jude Bellingham world class and Saka almost there. And I was like, Henry, you need to do better than that. Are you joking me?
Man. And he's on tonight on back pages.
No, I'm on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. What a good time to make a Sky Sports News appearance tomorrow morning. I very rarely get like a WhatsApp from a producer at this time because it's not for another few hours, and they're all like, "Wow."
Sophie,
so yeah,
Sophie, I am so happy you told me that. I'm smiling like a Cheshire cat. I'm blushing. You can't even see because my skin complexion, but yeah, I'm so Sophie, for you to go, I've seen you on Sky Sports and you deliver brilliantly, but to go on off the backdrop of that, it's truly amazing. It is historical tonight. Let's make no bones about tonight. Tonight was amazing for so many different reasons. The level of competition we're playing at. The Champions League is bloody difficult to win. It's a very difficult competition to win. But tonight is a really special moment that will go down in folklore for this football club.
Yeah, definitely. And our good friend Lisa Akers is in the house as well. Go on, Lisa. Did Saka win? He won one of the free kicks. Who won the other? Who won the first free kick? Saka won the second one, I think. Do you remember?
I think Saka won both.
Yeah,
he won both. Yeah. This is what he does. This is like the most. He didn't score, but like you said, the contributions that he makes, he wins those free kicks. He opens up play. A few of the squaddies have said it. What he does. He takes on the ball. He makes other players commit. And finally, in the Champions League, I think he gets much more protection than he does in the Premier League.
Absolutely.
At first, I was worried about the referee.
Oh, God, don't get me started. Yeah.
Albert, real quick on the ref. It seemed a little worrying at the beginning.
Yeah, he didn't start off that badly, but then I think maybe the Real Madrid players or team had a bit of credit in the bank. That's the politest way I can put it for some of the decisions that were given. I mean, Bellingham should have been booked. I can't believe he never got booked throughout the course of the game. Obviously, Camavinga got sent off in the end, but absolutely amazing to be part of and witness that tonight, Sophie. Unbelievable.
They're coming for you. They're coming for you. The coppers, they're coming for you.
They are, and I'm not even back in my hometown yet. Bloody hell.
We're going to let you take that walk down to Finsbury Park and get your train. Albert, what is your final message to the squaddies this evening? Thank you so much for sharing a little taste of the atmosphere for everyone from all corners of this great earth. Today it is for sure as an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, I think because my head's all over the place, I'm trying to keep it as short as I can do. But what I would say is enjoy tonight. It's been a long season. It's been a hard season to watch Arsenal play this season. It's not been enjoyable, but enjoy tonight because performances like that, results like that, do not happen very often in your lifetime. Let me be very, very clear when I say that. But we beat a world-class operator in terms of the coach, Carlo Ancelotti, and the quality of opposition we're coming up against. You have to turn up. And let me be very, very clear in my message. That's the first half done. And you know what I mean? Because we've got to go to the St. Bernabeu next week. Let's go and complete the second half. Let's go and do the job. Let's go and put our bodies on the line. Let's go and put 8 and 9s out of 10 performances in the Bernabeu. We're going to have to go to the trenches. We're going to have to go to war to get through and get this job done. And if you can't believe it after tonight, trust me, you need to believe it.
All right,
Wow.
Albert, you make you enjoy your walk to Finsbury Park and try not to bump into Magic Mike along the way.
Oh my God, Jesus Christ! I still Potsy filming. So I did Judges TV. So it's amazing to bump into everyone. Kenny Ken, Potsy, Judges, Potsy's dad, everyone. It's amazing scene. Amazing.
Before you leave, put your dating show application in as well, yeah?
James, let me tell you something, James. We've had many conversations, yeah? And Sophie knows my answer to throughout. I'm going to say, absolutely, there's no chance that will ever happen. Never.
Classic.
If I was in there tonight, I'd have probably kissed everybody. So, yeah.
James, I did it anyway, James.
I wouldn't have needed a dating show. I'd have just gone for it, yeah.
Brilliant.
I love you guys. People, smash the like button.
We love you too.
Squad.
That is Albert. We'll talk to you,
Absolutely.
soon. Take care. Take care. That's Albert live outside the Emirates.
You could have switched all them lights off, Sophie, and just had his face. He was beaming, weren't he? That's what a beautiful, beautiful man.
He sent me, he's just the most epic human. Albert is very special. And you said something, and I agree with you. I was so happy he got a ticket to this game. And when he messaged me, I'm sure like you, he's like, Soph, you're not going to believe it. I got a ticket. And I was so stoked for him. He deserves it. And everyone who was there tonight did a great job. Mikel Arteta asked for the fans to get behind the players, and they did that, and everyone around the world as well, whether you're sitting in a pub watching, you're at home, you're at the gym, no matter where, you were watching this game, every single Gooner was behind the club tonight. And you could feel the force, you could feel the energy. And don't let anyone take the jam out of your donut celebrating tonight. Don't let anyone take the cherry off the top of the cake tonight, because this isn't Ludogorets, all right? This is Real Madrid, and it is a night to celebrate. But Albert rightly says it's only half time, and there's a reason why they're so great. Albert, how do you contain emotions? What do you feel like going into the second leg? And we want to enjoy tonight. We said Declan Rice's free kicks, amazing. Mikel Merino, amazing. What a finish, by the way. His goal. What a finish from Mikel Merino. Graham Hunter talked about him very highly, loves the guy. And he said to me, and I quote, I'll put it out there. He said, be patient with Mikel. He's going to have big moments for you. Abba.
I think he's spot on. Do you know what? For me, the two signings that we made in the summer, Soph, there's no point bringing Sterling into the conversation. We had 2 goalkeepers on the bench tonight and not even a Sterling. I don't know if he was injured or something, but he weren't even in the squad, so I won't even bring him up. But for me, those 2 signings this year have never made themselves, to me, feel like they're immediate starters. They've always felt like, well, they're just squad additions. When we want to push on and go to the next level, these are just people that are squad additions. They're not adding to what we need to be done. But Moreno had no pre-season with us because we signed him really late. Obviously, because there was that big debate about whether we were going to sign him or not. Edu made it quite clear that he wasn't big on these 2 signings. Mikel Arteta said, no, I want these 2 signings. So, that's what happened there. And then, Demsick's put it in there. He was banned. Didn't know that. fair play. Yeah. So Sterling was banned. Yeah. But
yeah. Would he have featured today? I don't think so.
probably not. He might have come on at near the end, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, but Moreno obviously got injured right away. No preseason. The last couple of weeks, even in midfield, I thought even against Everton, when he was moved back into midfield, and that's happened sometimes when we brought another attacking player on and he's had to move back, he's looking really, really assured now. And he's slotting in and knowing what he needs to do. So, yeah, I'm well happy for him. And that finish, I don't know who you had on comms where you were, Sophie, but we had Champion and Alan Shearer. And Alan
we
Shearer
had Clive. We had Sir Clive.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Alan Shearer was just like, look, if anyone knows what a good finish is, it's arguably me. And he went, that's a brilliant finish. He's like, that is a really, really good. And he said for Courtois and he's like, that's one of the best keeper. For me, he is the best keeper in the world, I think, now that Buffon's long gone and obviously Neuer's near the end. I think Courtois is the best in the world. And yeah, to do him 3 times with 3 special goals. I mean, we could have done them by nearly 5. We could have done a PSV at PSV to Real Madrid tonight because they cleared a flew off the line. He saved a few with his hands, one with his face. Bellingham boxed one on the line. I can't remember the other guy. Don't forget in the first half, the corner and Saliba literally stops the ball from going in the net when he crouches down. Of course, he didn't. He thought he was, just doing what players do to try and get out of the way of the ball, and the ball hits him. That would have gone in. And yeah, you're right. Like the shots in the second half there as well. William Holmes, he's just literally took the words out of my mouth about what you said about with what Albert said.
We need to remember the attack is the best form of defense. Yeah, we'll lose.
You are absolutely spot on.
100%.
Yeah. Don't think it's 3-0. And
this is what worries me. We're gonna
jugular, kill him, absolutely slash him, him a bit.
This is what worries me. I just wanted to kind of add on the Merino thing. I don't think it's fair to call Mikel Merino a bust anymore. I think he deserves some credit to adapt the way he has.
10 in 6.
10 in 6. I mean, this is crazy. And the goal tonight, the finish was sublime. Proper number 9 finish that was beautiful. If Kane had scored that, people were saying what a world-class finish. Calafiori, the jury's out on. I mean, he's got injuries, he's got problems, he's got issues in that area. When he's played, he's done well. Defensively, there's still question marks. But Mikel Merino, right now, you're looking at it and saying, I'm not saying he's saving the season up front, but he's saving the season up front. I'm saying it.
So, Sophie, what I like about him, I was on another podcast the other day, and there were a few people in the comments, and I was saying about Moreno, and they were like, "Oh, you're just using this as a stick to beat Havertz with." I'm like, "Well, I haven't said anything negative about Havertz. I'm one of the few people that actually don't mind Havertz as well." I think he gets harshly critiqued at times, but what I said about Moreno and what I liked was, and this is where I think he's actually a better option than Havertz up top, is when it comes at him on the snap and he's got to be quick or he's got to be instinctive, he won't take that extra touch and muck it up or what. He just goes, I'm backing myself, bang, and I'll see what happens. Look at the goal against Fulham. Just like, I'm going to have a shot here and see what happens, and it pinballed off somebody. That's what I love about him. We just need someone. This is why we've got this Gyökeres link. I know that people are saying about Sesko because he's like that magical unicorn that can do all the things. No, we just need somebody that's in the box. I'm not going to take 2-3 touches and score. I'm going to take one, bang, top corner, bang, bottom corner. Just someone that loves to score goals. Well, at the moment, this guy's coming in here, and look at the 2 that he got against Leicester. Cross comes in, instinctive. I can't take many touches. Right, bang, there's one with my head. Bang, there's one on the volley. The Chelsea one from the corner. Brilliant header that was. And then in the second half as well, I believe, he had that volley that Sanchez saved. That's the kind of stuff that we need. We just need someone that's instinctive, that goes up there, does what he needs to do. And 10 in 6. You can't, like I said, if we signed somebody in January that got 10 goals in 6 games up front, we'd be vinegar stroking over him. That's the nicest way I can put it.
Brilliant stuff. So listen, for me, I mean, look, I've been a bit dazed on this broadcast. I'm not going to lie. James is talking sometimes and I look glazed over because I just can't. I don't want to get too excited. I don't want to get ahead of myself. I don't want to start thinking about a potential Emery versus Arteta matchup in the semi-final of the Champions League. I mean, PSG, they've been amazing. We still have to go to Real Madrid. And we saw what happened to Barcelona against Liverpool. You absolutely cannot think this match is over with the talent that they have. Their fans, it's a totally different proposition playing. It's like you do an indie movie and then you get a part in a Scorsese film and you get on set and you're like, whoa, this is big time. And you have to be prepared and ready. And I think Mikel Arteta will have them ready for that.
So if I don't want to get ahead of myself, right? But obviously we've gone from the Invincibles to now doing something like the Undateables. But no, I said to my dad today, and he started laughing, and he's just like, "Oh, how many weeks have you had that written down for, son?" And I called us the Unphasables. That's what I called it. I'm like, this lot at the moment, especially these younger ones. I'm like, whoever it is, whatever player it is, whatever team it is, because I'm so used to Arsenal teams playing the occasion or the badge and not the players that are in front of them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this lot tonight were like, yeah, they've got 15 Champions Leagues. But
they weren't phased.
No.
They weren't phased.
Like you said earlier about all the fans and everything, obviously, they put out that video. I know we do a lot of stuff that's quote unquote cringe, but I thought that video today was brilliant. I really liked that video today with all the actors in it. And obviously, Uncle Clive was in there as well and a few others. And, you know, before the game, you can't play North London Forever directly before it because the Champions League will only allow their song before. But we played it while they were in the tunnel.
Yeah.
So they had that slightly when they were coming out. And then everyone, when they were holding the thing up, me being me, I'd have done like my Christmas play and had it round upside down. I'd have done it the wrong way round, knowing me if I was there. So
they emphasized it by playing it at the end as well.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what? That's the loudest I've heard it. And I didn't mind. I can't stand it. But you know what? Even tonight, I was like, begrudgingly, I might have sang that if I was there.
Yeah. Well, maybe. We know how some of the Demian can't deal with it. I couldn't. It grew on me. But as long as we win, I don't care. Play any song. Yes. Play Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. I couldn't give a shit.
You know, I know he's a West Ham fan, Triple H, the wrestler. But yeah, playing his theme at half time, that would have G'd me up anyway. He's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time. He's one of the reasons I've got long hair. So yeah, I love Triple H.
Listen, you guys have been amazing. Can't let Real Madrid get an early goal. That is true. Chuff, there's a post-match show tonight. I'm going to do another one tomorrow night as well because there's a lot I want to say. And I'm going to do a show tomorrow. So look out on the community page for it. Before we go, some of you coming late into the show, we gave Kivior his flowers. We've given Merino his flowers, Thomas Partey, Declan Rice, Urian Timber. Saliba had to be... He worked in the shadows tonight. I mean, the dude is the Batman. He's ridiculously good. David Raya, confident at the back. Miles Lewis-Skelly, we wax lyrical about. Such a special player. James talking about being unfazed, ready for the moment. I mean, fearless. He's playing freaking Real Madrid. He doesn't care who's in front of him. And the key for Miles Lewis-Skelly tonight was to not get caught up in any mess. All right. Our yellow card threats stood tall. And for Miles Lewis-Skelly to come out clean, that was great. I thought Martinelli had an understated game, right? Felt like he didn't do too much, but very important what he does off the ball. Thought he was solid. We wax lyrical about
It's
Mikel.
another one with his end product. I'm like,
just a little bit frustrating.
Just don't look at your feet and look up, just please. I'm like, Gabby, come on. I know you, because the last couple of games, he's been brilliant for me, Martinelli. I thought he was really good against Everton when he come on. And tonight, I'm like, just look up, mate, please.
He's feeling
that's all you got to do. Yeah.
James, he's feeling it. He knows like maybe a replacement's coming and he's playing up. He's leveling up. And that's what we need.
You said about Raya as well. One thing I'll shout Raya out for, and I mean, I've liked him since we signed him, Sophie. I've always been a big fan. What I liked about him tonight, normally, soon as he gets the ball, he wants to release it so quickly because he wants to get us on a counter-attack. You know, he's got that in his locker. He can throw or kick that ball long and play somebody in. You know, we saw it throughout the whole time he was at Brentford with Ivan Toney. It was just like, right, I'm just going to ping you long diagonally. You run onto it and we'll smash people on the transition. But what I liked about him tonight, especially towards the end of the game, as soon as they crossed it or they had that corner late on or anything, I'm going to lay on this ball for a few seconds, actually. That's what I like. He was like, I'm going to waste a bit of time because I can.
It was great.
And I was like, go for it. I was like, you've deserved it.
Yeah, I listen, I agree. He's very smart, game management, very smart, and colossal again today. Really important across all facets. Lisa, I think there's a whole bunch of squaddies that are like you. When your 9-year-old granddaughter is still buzzing and refuses to sleep, everyone's been messaging saying, I've got to go back to work, and I'm just staying. We're gonna do this again tomorrow night. But before we go, Albert said it. We go on different shows. We do YouTube channels and stuff, and you say what you see with what's in front of you. You critique, you give opinions. And as you know, on the Highbury Squad, it's always about being opinionated, but doing it with respect. And there has been a growing growl about the manager this season because things in the Premier League haven't gone well. Whether you think he's responsible for injuries or not, a little harsh, but he's accountable, right, for overplaying players. There's no doubt about that. He has done that. We had, Pedro from the Grove on here talking about how Mikel's gone on record talking about, his old school kind of mentality and thinking about players, how many games they think they can play, recovery and all that type of stuff. All that aside, by the way, the Cronkies sacked today their manager and their general manager. It's like sacking the sporting director and Mikel from the Denver Nuggets. And some people here think it's absolutely ruthless, right? This is the guy that won them the NBA championship. But in all of the adversity this season, whether you think it's VAR, red cards, injuries, sometimes Mikel's put it on himself, made some bad decisions, still hasn't combated the low block. This is his greatest moment as an Arsenal manager. This supersedes the FA Cup. And some people say, how can you say that? It's winning a trophy. No. He needed to show that he could do this and that his team could do this. And they did. And it wasn't like a scraping a win result. I'm going to go as far as to say as we kind of battered them. We controlled the tempo of the game. We were colossal at the back. We suffocated their superstar 3. We found ways to beat their midfield that has been lauded, one of the greatest players of all time. This was a signature seminal moment. And we really, I'm going to reiterate again, have to make the praise as loud as the criticism. And Mikel Arteta deserves his flowers tonight. The players deserve their flowers tonight. But at this point in the season, when players have played a lot of football and they're exhausted, as a manager, you've got to find an extra edge. And whatever that extra edge is or was, he found it tonight. But now, this is why he needs to be careful. People are going to say the job's not done. There are going to be a lot of people that say, you're not through yet. They're not going to give him his flowers. They're going to be asking for more. Can you do it under the big lights at the Bernabeu against Real Madrid? There's going to be another hurdle he has to overcome as manager of Arsenal in order for this result to stick for a lot of people. Football is about special moments and special nights. And today is one of those. And so for me, I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to bask in it. And tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about a whole bunch of stuff. And maybe we'll dive into this a little bit more too. But I'm going to try and not get caught up in the moment of the second leg yet, because I'm going to enjoy this for the next couple of days. And I would say to anyone who will throw darts at Mikel Arteta tonight because, well, he hasn't done anything yet. No, today was big. Tonight was big, not only for him, but also for the players. And I'm going to leave you on that note. James, did you want to add anything?
I think you're spot on. I don't want to talk anymore to potentially ruin that.
Okay. All right.
I mean, just one thing I will say quickly, and I promise I will be quickly, because we've gone over that magical hour mark here, is just again, thank you to you, because you allow, obviously, Muggins here to come on and tell their version of events, and share, the game and a little bit, we've had a little bit of tactical now. It's obviously more emotional now tonight. I apologise for that. Normally, I'm more revered for what I say in terms of players and positions and what have you than my emotional nounce. But like you went, tonight's one of them evenings where just you got to soak that in. And you got, how many more days are you going to get like this? Well, for me, hopefully 4 more. 4 more nights like tonight. That's all we need.
That would be great.
Like tonight.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. You know
would...
how like every man and his dog and his wife and everything was at Anfield in '89. This game's going to become the new '89. I think everyone in the world's going to be.
I was there.
Yeah, everyone's going to be at the Emirates. Like when you go to Disney and you survive. I remember years ago when I was a kid, I went on Tower of Terror when I was like 6 or 7 in Florida, and I got the "I Survived Tower of Terror." They're going to get them printed in the Armory. I was there at Arsenal, Real Madrid.
I love that. I love that. It's true. And look, enjoy the moment. And yeah, of course, we want to go on win it and like '89, make it count, right? Put something in the cabinet, and we'll put I hope we put all of our energy, save players, whatever we need to do, preserve the gold in the team, keep those players safe. It's been a long season. It's been a hard season. So yeah, tomorrow morning, later on, if you're an insomniac in England, but for US audience, I'll be on TalkSport with Paul Ross at 7:15 at US time for the drive time home in the United States. And at 7 a.m., I will be on Sky Sports News tomorrow, and it will be joyous, and I will look forward to it, and I shall enjoy it.
Don't
so
let them
tune
off the
in.
Hook, Sophie.
I'm not.
None of them off the hook.
I'm not. And Tammy's been warning me throughout the whole show. They've been a lot of people on that. They're YouTubers, they're hosts, they're guests, they're pundits. Of course, the host less vocal, but who have absolutely ripped us to shreds this season. And tomorrow's going to be our day. And I'm not going to let.
You got the classic Super Kev gift there, because that's what you need to, in honor of the great man. You need to, I can't say it like you used to say it.
Let me get it. That's right here.
That's you tomorrow. You got to channel the.
He would tell me. He would be calling me up. He goes, Sophie, you make sure you broke that neck tomorrow. Don't let him get away with it, Sophie. And Sophie, broke that neck. Give me Vinny, hit those likes. If I don't get 150 likes before I leave, I'm not coming on, Kev says on Friday.
And shout out his son as well. Well deserved. Shout out his son.
That's exactly what he would be saying. He would be loving it. So yeah, sometimes I feel like, should I show this or not? And you know what? For nights like this, he would be up for it, be showing it, and he would want it. He's like, sometimes I can hear his voice saying, stop worrying and just let it ride and stuff. And yeah, huge congrats. I sent Tyrese a message today to wish him congratulations on being Player of the Month, PFA Player of the Month. Really proud of him. And so we keep in touch and make sure that I send him messages from the squaddies saying how proud we are of him, and he checks in on the show as well. Oh, look who's shown up right at the very end. Where have you been? I sent you an email asking you if you were still alive or if you were protesting. And now we're leaving. So you're going to have to wait till tomorrow night. Where have you been? Explain yourself to the chief like officer. She's been exceptionally worried about you, as have some others as well. And you know what? Be positive. We made Real Madrid shit the bed. All right? We assisted. Okay, we gave them the assist. They didn't just come and do it. We made them do it. No. Tune in tomorrow.
I can't be this good twice. Sorry.
Yeah, look, James has done his bit. James, let everyone know where they can find you. Didn't even have time to put your banner in tonight, so just let everyone know what you got coming up.
It's one of those nights where it doesn't matter. Honestly, it's fine. Yeah, at LL Cool James 91, and all the links are on there.
And
I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere you want me to be. If you
and your
ask
podcast,
me, I will
your
be there.
podcast. Your
My
podcast.
personal, is James Johnston Football. Took me ages to think of that name, but yeah, that's that one. And then there's purely Arsenal with the lads as well. And no, thank you so much, everybody.
All right. Well, thanks for jumping in with me. Enjoy the night, as James says, and thanks as always for your amazing analysis. Newman, tune in tomorrow or just rewind the show, start it again and listen to James's incredible analysis. No matter where in this world you might be, thank you for making the Highbury Squad part of your day. Means the world to me. And I love how you guys rock and roll with each other in live chat. Let's do it again tomorrow night, shall we? I think we've got a lot more to say. And I might just have a special guest for you as well. Until then, squaddies, don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them. We beat Real Madrid 3-0 in the Champions League. Suck it, haters. At ease, squaddies.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Oh, you Tottenham in disguise. Oh, you Tottenham.